Now I'm going to be tying, this is a salmon fly, a shrimp fly. It's called the T-Raider. It's basically a fly that's got very popular over the last few years. It's in the shrimp style, good colour combination, which you can't go really far wrong with. But it has been very consistent, so, and as a request I had been asked to tie the fly, so this is how I would tie it. Now I've got a double salmon hook here, size 8. For the basically this is going to be the butt. I'm going to use a number 5 Glo-Brite floss, but I'm going to tie with it at the beginning to form that. This is the one here. Now you can tie with this floss to a point anyway. Much like a 6/0 thread or UTC thread, it's very similar. The first thing I like to do is just run the wax through it. Just helps it last that wee bit better. And then I'm going to start it around about 4mm from the eye. Start to work your way down and then remove the waste piece. Now the tag is a oval silver tinsel. It's this small. I'm going to work it down until just short of the barb of the hook, meaning when I let the thread go I'm about 1mm or so from the barb. And then what I'm going to do is just wind the oval tinsel 4 times down, and then I'm going to bring it between the hooks and underneath. So I'm going to catch it just underneath, nice and tight, and trim the waist the full length of the body. Tail of the fly, it's a nice hot orange bucktail and a nice warm yellow, and you want a 50-50 mix of fibre. It's up to yourself, you can mix it to suit yourself. If you like less yellow or more yellow, then you can tie it to suit. You will get the bucktails are slightly different from one another, like say in this case the orange, the fibres seems a bit thicker than the yellow. The first thing I'm going to do is line up the ends. Just bring them in close as you can, and then I'm going to roll them through my fingers to basically mix them up and then stack them. Now when you're rolling them between your fingers, they will twist and tighten up here, so you've got to run your fingers through just to open them back out. And then just going to line them up a bit better and put them into the stacker. You could tie it straight on if you want. I'm going to stack it up. So tips first. Tap it on your desk. Remove it from the stacker. Looks okay. Now you're looking round about twice the length of the hook for the tail. Tie that on top. A couple of turns to hold, and then trim away. Now you could make the tail longer. You could reduce the fibre. You could reduce this length as well. Make it smaller. It's entirely up to you. Now in the tail I'm going to put some Krystal flash. I'm using the micro, which is a very fine pearl micro version. You get it in different colours. So I've got a single strand here. I'm going to double it up, trim it, tie it on top, and then what I'm going to do here is just form a small butt. Trim away the base first with the Glo-Brite floss, so nice and tight. Just take your time. Now what you've got to do is watch the points of the hook. Now what I'm going to do here is take it up. Now this is just a wee touch too long, so I'm going to trim some of the fibre away, some of the waste. Lightly, just quickly take it up and change. You can change the thread over, but before I do that, I'm going to enhance or coat the butt of the fly with some resin and then varnish it. So I'm going to finish this off. You can see that tidies everything up, makes it much neater. Now I've got a light UV resin here. You can sit and do, if you're tying half a dozen or so of these flies, you would sit and prepare this part of the fly first. So basically the fly is in two parts. Nice even coat all the way around. Set it with your torch. Underneath. As I say, you could just leave it and carry on with the fly, or what I like to do is varnish it. Just put a coat of varnish over the resin. It's a nice fine coat all the way around. As I say, then you could obviously tie another one. Then obviously allow that to dry. Now the fly is dry, we continue and finish the fly. I'm going to tie the rest of the fly using a black thread, in this case the uni thread in 8/0. I start at about a mil or so from the eye, work my way down. Now on the way down I'll remove the waste piece, and then I'm going to tie in some silver wire for the rib. You could use an oval silver if you want, but I prefer the wire. It protects the body, which is going to be a Peacock Mylar. I'm just going to tie this underneath, and then work my way down right up against the butt of the fly. That point there, the peacock in orange, this is it here. I'm using number 12, which is like a large peacock. Is in obviously the side, and the underside you'll see it's got a nice orange or strong copper if you want to call it. Take a length off. What I do is I tie it with the on side facing myself, full length of the body, so it keeps the body nice and smooth, and then take the thread up. Straight turn at the back, and then work your way up, nice and tight. Give yourself plenty of room for the wing and the hackles. There's 2 hackles on this, so basically, let me drop my clip finisher there, but 2 hackles, the wing and 2 hackles, so you need a good 4 mil or so. Now I'm going to wax my thread here, tidy this area a wee bit. The silver wire, bring it up, a straight turn at the back, which should protect the back of the tinsel, and then 4 to 5 turns on the way up. Just follow up, but a 90-degree bend into the wire, and then secure it down, nice and tight. Bend and break it away. If you bend and break it away, it's much neater, and it saves your scissors as well. So, a wee bit of wax. Now for the wing, I'm going to use some Arctic Runner. Now you could use other fibres. You could use fox, you could use squirrel, you could even use bucktail. It's really up to yourself. Now the Arctic Runner is really it's a nice hair to use. It's a very good mobile fibre, and using a lot in salmon flies now. Just checking. Now, the first thing I do is take away any fluff that I don't want. Looking for the tail to come in. Basically you're looking for the main part of the fibres, in this case to the back of the hook, with the tapering fibres coming into the middle of the tail. That's fine, so I'm happy with the length. Then I trim it. Make sure you wax your thread. Sit it on the top, and then take the thread turns into the cut ends of the wing fibres. Nice and tight, and it'll be nice and secure. So a wee quick check and see how the wing is. Now it is tapered like, so you've got it just tapers into the tail. It's a nice colour. I'm just checking any loose fibres there. There's 1 or 2. Trim them away at this point, because all you're going to do is take them into the eye, and you don't want that. Now for in the wing, a wee bit of flash. I'm going to use some Krystal flash. There's just a pearl, but a strand either side. So I'm holding my side first, taking the thread down, taking it over the eye, or over the shank of the hook, and to the other side, and then check the length. Happy with the length. Just slightly longer on this side. There we are. You can see there's a bit of flash, just a wee highlight either side of the wing. Now, hackles. You could use hen or cock hackles. It's entirely up to yourself. I'm using, these are just Chinese cock hackles. One dyed a yellow and one a hot orange. Now I'm going to tie the yellow in first. Now you could wind them both at the same time. Now it's one of the questions I do get asked, they say they prefer to do it one at a time, so I'm going to do that just to show you how I tie them in. Now obviously with the front of the hackle facing yourself, I'm going to tie it in by the tip, turn to hold, wipe the wax on, a couple of turns up, over the tip of the hackle, slide your fingers back and there's the tip. Now because of the wax you have a lot of strength there, you can actually break that off. Now scissors, just run the scissors down the leading edge. This will fold the fibre and allow it to sit. Now you want straight turns. So there's 1, 2, and 1 turn in front of the other. Just try and keep it as straight as you can. When you're happy with the amount of fibre, and it will depend on how good the feathers are you've got. You may need less, you may need more, it's up to you. It's really, you have to choose. Trim away the waste. Again, you touch your wax. The wax will give you that bit more confidence, a bit more grip when you're tying your thread or tying things on. You do exactly the same with the orange hackle. Again, I'm going to reveal the tip of the hackle. Offer it to the side. 2 or 3 turns down. Fold back the tip. Just going to tidy the area up a wee bit. Keeping hold of the thread. Never let the thread go, especially when you want to do stuff like this, breaking this off. And then run the scissors down one edge, the leading edge of the feather, which will fold it. And then again, we're looking, in this case, about 3 turns. You'll be able to do that with the tip because the stem of the feather is really thin. Now once you're happy with the turns, now check. I may go an extra one with this because it's a wee bit thinner than the fibre, this feather. If you're happy, you can catch it in. Nice and tight. Trim away the waste. Now I'm going to put a wee bit of wax on my thread again. Any of these fibres that's going forward, just draw them back and then make a nice base of thread down for tying in your jungle cock. Wee quick look. Now we get 2 jungle cock eyes, 2 the same length obviously, or the same size anyway. Now I want it to come into about, say, halfway into the wing. So it's not so much a single eye, it's more like partly a wing, part of the wing anyway. So I've got 2 eyes here, I'm going to line up the ends. Look at the area where you want to tie them in. Now I usually just open out that area. And then hold back the fibres, come in. Look from the top down, make sure they're level and the same length. Hold them there. And then come round with 2 or 3 turns. Now these are just, we'll say, temporary turns if you want to call it that, because you can just hold your thread tight and then rotate the vise so you can see. If you don't like the way they're sitting, you can always come in and move them at this point. Just checking how they're sitting. I'm just checking the length as well from the top. If you're happy with it, actually I think this one just needs a wee touch less on this side. That's better. I usually put a wee bit of wax on my thread. Now, I like to fold back the jungle cork. You may catch one or two fibres, but draw these back, stroke them back with your fingers, nice and tight, form a nice head using the thread. Just ignore everything at this point, just nice straight turns and form a nice clean head with the thread. Keep the thread tight, I can actually break these off nice and tight. And then whip finish. Trim away your thread. A quick look to see how it's sitting. That's fine, looks okay to me. Yep, then what I like to do, on most of my salmon flies, I like to put a layer of super glue on first, allow that to dry, which doesn't take long. Makes a very secure, nice shiny head when you do this. Now the super glue I'm using is a Fully Mill fishing super glue. It comes with a brush, as you see, makes it easy to apply. And once that's dry, then you a couple of coats of varnish, and that there's basically your T Raider. Nice shrimp fly, nice colour combination.